Let's talk about that a little bit. We got 10-year NFL vet Billy Turner, great North Dakota State Bison veteran and alum, a great friend of mine, a guy that's been Dungeon family for a long time. Billy, look, the Lance kid, Trey's brother, is an elite receiver, and I'm sure you know about Travis Hunter. Yes, obviously. How excited are you for that matchup? Because I really can't wait. I mean, Travis really plays up when he's playing against great players, and this Lance kid is a pro.
I'm very excited, but as you know, I am biased because I cannot wait to see the battle in the trenches.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's gonna be it's just going to be a battle.
I love that I just asked you about two skill guys, and you were like, "Fuck them."
I know. I mean, like, look, let's be completely honest. Like, I think both sides are gonna get things that they want to get because they're both elite to a certain extent. Like Travis Hunter is going to do special things, and that's not because he's at CU. He's doing special things regardless of the school and institution that he's at. Same with Shadur, right?
Yep.
Like that's and from a skilled position thing, that's more or less what I'm interested to see. Shadur is going to throw this ball 30 to 40 times in every game that he plays in. I want to see how NDSU secondary handles that. The D coordinator was my roommate. He's one of my friends. Like, I am very
You got any tips today? You got any tips? Any tips?
Look, the tips are the obvious things. Like, he's a first round pick, probably top 5 for sure, top 10 in my opinion. This kid is gonna throw the rock.
Oh yeah.
Like, I want to see how they handle it because he's going to get his numbers regardless. It's not always about, the one or two big plays. It's about how you keep him out of the end zone and you keep bringing him back out onto the field. It's going to be a chess match. You're not going to be able to match up with the star power that CU has, but NDSU never goes into a game knowing that that's what they're going to do. You have to keep giving these kids opportunities.
So let's go back to the trench then, because that's where we make our money, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I think watching the way you guys pull the tight end usage, the heavy sets, the fullback, if I wasn't on the other side and you guys were playing Missouri or Kansas State or Nebraska, I would be rooting for North Dakota State so fucking hard because I love the way they play. I love it. It's smash mouth. It's vertical. There's a lot of quarterback run game, tons of play action. It's the kind of offense I love. So CU last year, and this I'm going to ask you this. So listen, 2.3 yards a carry last year, and then they replaced the entire offensive line. So I seem to think that with were you in Denver with Patty Schumer?
No,
you weren't there with Pat, right?
No,
at OC. Thank God. But he is instituting a pro system up in Boulder, and I seem to think that they're going to run the ball a little bit more tonight than just throw it 40 times. So, do you think that can't believe I'm saying this, but do you think that a team that's just 5 new guys and a new tight end and a new scheme can actually get in the trench and get dirty with you guys? Because your guys' system and scheme and the way it's taught is rep on top of like the foundation of redshirt freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Next guy plays. They've taken 1,000 reps in the same system. Mm-hmm. How do you see that playing out?
I think there is a level of simplicity that he has hopefully incorporated into this offense at CU. There's never going to be a scare of throwing too much at a Shadur because you know how talented he is, but you raise a great point in that you have 5 new offensive linemen, a tight end, maybe a running back, etc. There has to be a sense of confidence and comfort that they're able to rest on, and as you know, the further you go on into football, every time you level up, you have to be able to rely on the run game even more as a quarterback because there's a staple of that in your offense where it allows your quarterback to be more comfortable. You can't always just rely on your quarterback dropping back and throwing the ball downfield the entire game. Don't get me wrong, people do it, but even the best of the best at the top level, they need those safety nets and they need that run game to open up certain things. So if they are able to run the football successfully, I think that opens up the door for Shador to be even better. But again, to answer your question, if I am a CU fan, I am very interested to see how this new run game and these new offensive linemen are able to handle what has been incorporated over the last 6 to 12 months.
So last question for me. I played defensive line in college, played a little bit in the NFL, and they got moved to offense. But, you know, every time I was playing three technique, if I had a good game, it was usually a good outcome. And if they could run the ball, it was usually a negative one. Mm-hmm. What do you think the defensive lineman for the Buffs, as a former North Dakota State Bison that did this to people and just road graded motherfuckers for years, what should they expect? Is this going to just be smash mouth headache game?
This is what I'm going to tell you. North Dakota State has some very unique football players that are athletically gifted to the point of, if I am at CU, I'm not necessarily expecting that. They have some weapons that are a little bit different and more universal that they'll be able to incorporate and use. And aside from that, you always think about going against a smaller school and like being able to take advantage of the offensive or defensive line. It's not always the story, especially at NDSU. There's a lot of big kids. All of them are going to be over 300 pounds. They're going to be strong. But aside from that, the mentality that they have and having that chip on their shoulder, they play games up front and they try to finish people. It doesn't matter if they're not winning, they're still going to try and finish you. And that is something that I love about it because, as you know, you don't have to have perfect technique to impose your will on your opponent. You know, and as long as they play like that and almost like that ankle biter mentality, then it like sky's the limit at any level, because there's a certain amount of like annoyance that people get. I mean, even at the professional level, like, you know, like you go against guys at times that are not the most like athletically gifted or skilled, but they are fucking relentless.
Yes, they just
And
play hard.
those are the ones that are tough. And that is the mentality that they incorporate into the offensive and defensive line. And that is a big, big part of the successful nature that exists in the fibers of North Dakota State football.
Fuck, Billy, I want to come up there right now and tackle you, dog. Fuck, I got to talk to my coach tonight and be like, look, I got to leave early. Nick, find a way home. I'm going. Holy fuck. All right, Bailey, I know you got some questions and you got some back and forth for Billy and I before we end the show. We got 10 more minutes, folks. Remember, the super chats and the subs are open. We appreciate anything and everything. Make sure you become a member of the Dungeon family for $2.99. We got a bunch of elite stuff up there. I will have about 10 clips off the TV copy to break down and put up on the exclusive side, the Dungeon family part of this on YouTube. We appreciate everybody watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. All right, Bailey, go.
All right, man. Billy, I can't thank you enough for joining. So we got a huge matchup tonight, obviously. You're a North Dakota State alum. Can you break down the keys to victory for North Dakota State against Colorado?
Physicality. It's a game in the trenches. It's absolutely that, and it's figuring out how to continue to impose their will and to play the chess game. They're not going to beat anyone at this level with one or two plays. It's going to be the consistency of that smash mouth style of football.
Mm-hmm. No doubt.
Same question.
Yeah, Matt, go ahead. Same question, but what are the keys to victory for Colorado against North Dakota State?
First down on defense. If they're looking at 2nd and 5, we are fucked. We're going to be chasing their ass all night. They're going to be able to do whatever they want on offense. If we don't hold them to 3 yards of carry, which is going to be a big fight, it's going to be tough because, again, play action, misdirection, the way that they pull their RPO game, it's elite, and Coach Livingston's going to have his hands full. But then the other part is keeping Shador clean. He got sacked 52 times last year. They've got good defensive players. They're going to bring fucking heat because it's an offensive line with 5 new dudes. And it takes time for 5 fingers to become a fist. So you can do it in practice all you want. When you get into a game and they start throwing live ammo at you, it's different. So I would say first down on defense and keeping Shador clean on offense.
No doubt. And Billy, so North Dakota State obviously has a great
Fuck,
history.
why you gotta bring this up, dog?
We keep it real on this show. They obviously North Dakota State has a great history of taking out FBS opponents. Can you guys just speak to this? How do you feel this? I don't obviously throughout the years this hasn't played it now, but you look back, you're like, man, they have a history of taking teams out like this. How do you feel about that?
I feel great about it because I was a part of a number of those games, right? And the success that you see there is 110% earned, not given. So none of that shit was easy. But with that being said, this is going to be a tremendous test for these kids, and it's going to be a lot of fun. These kids live for these moments because these are kids that are under recruited, have all the talent in the world and figure it out, obviously, but this is a big game for North Dakota State. And a part of the reason that so many of those columns are W's is because everyone gets behind that same goal and they push forward together. It's like 300, the movie, right? 300 men conquering thousands of,
Yes.
like, they push forward together and they have the same heartbeat. That is the reason why so many of those games have been won against, elite FBS teams.
Matt, your response to that?
Man, fuck your team, Billy.
Oh man.
I don't look like if I'm in the locker room and I see that list, I'm literally walking around to everyone and going, I really fucking hope you're focused. These guys are not punks. Wake the fuck up. And look, I never lost to an FCS team, but we also didn't play very many when I was there. I think the worst team we played was North Texas. They were coming off a 10-win season with like Patrick Cobb. Remember Patrick Cobb, the running back? I played with him in Miami when I got moved to guard. Good dude. He tore us up, but we beat him by 30. But then again, this reminds me so much of opening with Colorado State back in the day, which we did every fucking year. And it would always be the CU fans be like, we're going to kill them. I just saw somebody in the comments, CU by 60. That's the exact mindset we don't need today, dog. We cannot think like this. It's got to be work boot fucking Thursday here because I'm telling you, my freshman year in 2000, we underestimated them. We got beat 28-24 by CSU, and we got fucking tear gassed. And then in 02, when we're ranked 4th in the country coming in after winning the Big 12, we underestimated them again, and Van Pelt spiking the ball off our fucking head in the end zone, and we get upset. So there's nothing worse than getting upset, but then again, there's nothing better than upsetting someone on the road. So I think this game is going to be a fucking war, bro. I can't wait.
NDSU has nothing to lose.
Nothing.
And everything to gain. It's not, if we're all being honest, it's not the same for CU.
It's not.
If CU loses this game, that's tough.
Dog, tough. Look, dog, I'm taking my sunglasses off. If CU loses, we're in fucking trouble. We're in trouble, dog. I don't even want to think about fucking losing. It makes me sick. Okay. Bailey, what's your next question before I start fucking punching shit and throwing stuff in my office? Shit.
Okay. All right. So Matt, we didn't get a chance to talk about this on Wednesday, but I wanted to break down, each team's kind of keys to success defensively. So Billy, I'll start with you. North Dakota State on defense. What do they have to do to shut down Colorado and have success?
North Dakota State has to play the soundest game that they'll probably play all year. That is guys being in the correct places throughout the entire play. Shadur has vision and Shadur has an arm. He is an athlete and he is elite. That means that on the defensive side of the ball, if you're running a stunt as a D lineman, you need to trust that your brother next to you is going to be there, and you need to trust that the linebackers are filling those holes and those gaps, and you need to trust that those safeties are not letting anybody over the top. I think it's going to be a defensively sound game, and other than that, you got to take advantage of the 5 new guys up front on the offensive line for CU. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to be good. They're going to be special players, all of that. But at the same point in time, they have not been battle tested together.
Yeah, it's a very fair point. Matt, let's go to the other side now. Matt, what are Colorado's keys to victory on defense, and what do they got to do to shut down North Dakota State?
Well, look, I know that there's been a lot of hype around Cooks, and he's been on a lot of media tours. He looks big and strong, and I'm with it. I want you to be big and strong. But last year, the 3 technique play there, and I played 3 technique at CU, and I consider myself a pretty good player. I thought it was embarrassing. I thought we got gashed to the B gap. I thought we got double teamed like a motherfucker. We couldn't get off a block. We can't make a play. We can't hold the line of scrimmage. So I'm hoping that bringing in Warren Sapp and Coach Lewis and all these new players, especially the defensive ends, you never notice how bad you're getting double teamed at 3 technique until you have a good defensive end outside of you and they can't do it to you anymore. So bringing in the 2 kids that they did, Hayes and Green, it's all in the defensive line, dog. I mean, look, the secondary is elite. There's multiple draft picks in it. Coach Sanders is going to get his secondary players. Travis Hunter is fucking incredible. I like Woods. I like Bentley. They're good backs, or they're good backers. But I need the front 5, 7 to play smash mouth, hard nosed football, and I need everybody else to GTFB, which means get the fuck back. Because I know damn well that Cam Miller, who's a veteran quarterback that's been in the system a long time, the RPO game and the play action game off of their run game is really hard to stop because people are always looking in the backfield because there's multiple pullers and guys running downhill on you. So I'm telling you, this is if any of the defensive linemen, and I can't imagine that Coach Sapp and Coach Lewis are taking this lightly, because if you do, you're really just putting yourself in a bad position. I can't imagine that they are not on their asses about being the best they can be this evening. Because look, if you think that this week is, if we can't stop the run this week and we're getting gashed, we go to fucking Lincoln next week, dog. And they're a lot better than they were last year, and they fucking hate us. North Dakota State just wants to beat us. There's no bad blood here. The people in Lincoln fucking despise us, and they want to see us lose, and they ain't beat us in like 4,000 days, homie. So, like, we've been whipping that ass for a while now, and they need to get back on top. So, this is more than just the game tonight. It's setting the tone for the whole season on the defensive line.
No doubt. All right, before we close out here, we got about 5 minutes left. Let's just go back and forth here. Billy, I'll start with you. Official score prediction and outcome of the game. Just your thoughts. Let's hear it.
This is an interesting question. Obviously, I'm gonna go with my team and my school. There's no doubt there. I think Shedeur is going to put his numbers up, because I know he's going to throw the rock, which he is supposed to. But I think there's a potential for them to maybe get in the red zone and find a little bit of difficulty at times. So I'm going to go with 24-21 NDSU.
Wow.
Of course. What a shocker. All right. So, look, and you should, if you would have picked Colorado, I would have just stopped the show immediately.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, you can't do that shit. All right. So, look, I'm going to go 41-20 Buffs, and I think it will be like 28-20 going into the fourth quarter, and then CU will pull away. So, if we just lost Billy, it's because, I said 41-20 Buffs, and he's like, fuck you, Matt, I'm out.
We probably got a phone call.
I love it, dude. But hey, so I'm going to take the Buffs 41-20 and just pray to the God of skinny punks that this works. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to go fucking dig a hole in the concrete out here and bury myself in it. Because Friday's show is going to be fucking terrible.
Man, I'll take them 38-17. I still think it's going under 60. That total is way high.
That's fucked up, Bailey. I took the over. You can't just like manifest this for. You can't go 41-17, dick.
I took a straight bet too. It's all right. We can root for points here. We need points either way. We need points.
Good job, team player.
Oh man.